Nigel, first of all, just to touch on the game at 𝗦𝗢𝗨𝗥𝗧 last weekend, what are your reflections on our performance and taking a point from our trip there?
Really pleased with the performance. We've obviously changed the way our shape. We've gone there, played some real good football. It's a proper footballing game. It's a real good footballing game. And obviously the second half in particular, the last 15, 20 minutes, we were the dominant force. We're going on. Obviously we've conceded a goal. You know, good bit of play from them. When we look at it, the first time they really broke us down. I think Luke's had two saves I think he's had to make in the game. Apart from that, he's had nothing to do because we had a good shape about ourselves. And then we've come back and we were there. We were driving on, we're knocking on the door. Should have had a clear penalty. That would have put us to the equaliser, and then Regan goes on and scores what was the equaliser. That would have been the winning goal. So for me, really good. 𝗬𝗢𝗏𝗏, Chris Merry in the middle of the pitch, just sat together in there. They did really, really well. And as I said, we changed our formation. I was really pleased with it. And again, against a very high possession football team, we had a fair share of the possession ourselves. Minimised them. As I say, Luke's had 2 saves to make. So from the point of view that it was a real good performance. Points on the road, always respect that. And again, a spirit amongst the players and some good football.
We played some intricate attacking football in that formation. Is that shape something you think could be suited to this team going forward?
I'd like to. We've talked on it in pre-season. We've played different formations through pre-season. We played formations that are different already this season in different competitions, in the league games. We've adapted during the course of a game very successfully. So I'd like us, we do a lot of debriefs. I'd like us, and a lot of work on the training ground. I'd like us to be in a position where, yes, we can play one way, which is maybe to defend like it's a mid-third block, intercept, counter-attack, great threat on that way. I know we can stand toe-to-toe with any of the teams in the division, so if anyone wants a scrap, we'll have a scrap. But we need to evolve, and we need to have longer possession of the football when teams are set up in a lower defensive block, where we can have longer possession of the football to try and break them down and be more creative on that. So that's things we've been working on. Whatever formation that is, we've got to find a way. And I'm really pleased.
On Tuesday night, we saw some really positive individual performances in our win over Accrington. Have some of those players potentially played their way into your plans for this weekend's game and the matches we have coming up?
Well, listen, we've got 5 players who won't even make the bench at the weekend. What a difference that been. Remember early on in the season, we only had 4 on the bench, and 2 of them were Sol Solomon and Josh Williams, who have just come from non-league football, getting used to full-time football, and they done great. And they did great the other night as well, didn't they? So they've adjusted to it really well. So basically, there's only Declan Drysdale not available for the weekend. Now, whether some of the players who played the other night are capable of playing 90 minutes, so when we look at a Sam Finley and a Josh Hawes as an example, they've been out since the first pre-season game. So if we take it from that context point of view, they're still trying to get 60 minutes, 70 minutes, 80 minutes of football as they build up. And also we have to be very mindful, and again when we look at Sam Taylor, who was exceptional the other night, wasn't he? We had 20 minutes the other night against Swindon, 80 minutes on this Tuesday. He's come back from a hamstring injury as well. We have to be very mindful of a very special talent, that we don't overload that, because we don't want him to have a second hamstring injury or a third hamstring injury, because that then could affect his career moving forward. So I'm very mindful of that, the welfare of a player, a younger player, but what a talent he was the other night. So really pleased. Obviously he missed, like with Josh Hawkes, they both got injured in the very first pre-season game at Blackburn. So we've had to be very patient. They've worked really hard on their rehabilitation, and we have to be very mindful now of how we integrate them back in, so that they can perform to the level that they want to perform at, that we need them to perform at, and make sure that we, for their player welfare point of view, minimise as best as we can any risk of further injury.
Now you've got the likes of Sam Finley, Sam Taylor and Josh Hawkes back available for selection. How much are you looking forward to kicking on with a fuller squad into another busy run of fixtures?
Very much so. It's important. As I said, we've navigated the first part of the season well. So when we only had four players on the bench, I can't remember what it was, the Walsall game, which we won 1-0. So really good. We lost that bit of momentum when the international break came. No fault of our own, because Wimbledon cancelled the game, or the FA cancelled the game, with Wimbledon having 3 players called up. We obviously then couldn't keep backing up after the great victory away at Carlisle. We've lost the only 2 games we've lost this season in the league, but we've regained that bit of momentum, being hard to beat, hard to play against, some draws, which could quite easily be wins, and obviously a good win against Accrington in midweek, where we've got a group of players who are all pushing in the right direction. As you rightly say, fixtures are going to come thick and fast. All the way into January, we're more or less playing every 3 days, Saturday, Tuesday, Saturday, Tuesday. So the squad of players are going to all be utilised. Now at the moment, it's brilliant because we've got a lot of them, come on, I'm ready. Whatever part they're going to be involved in, whether they're starting the game or whether they make the impact coming off the bench. I think it's always important that you can try and get a strong bench to go and change the course of a game, whether that's a straight swap with personnel, whether that's a change of tactics, and just to keep the physicality up as well. But when we talk about the sports science kind of things of the actual how hard you work, you know, I want us to be a hard-working team, and the sports science backs up how hard the players work, not just the eyes, the data's there. So I'm really pleased that we've got a big squad of players, and long may that continue.
Do you think having those players back might be able to help us score more goals, something that you've mentioned we need to work on of late?
Well, we've been working on it. Defence wins championships, goals wins games. You know, so sometimes when we know we can sit deep, that mid-third block, intercept, counter-attack, we're very good at doing that. We know we can stand toe-to-toe with teams. But can we have longer possession of the ball in the attacking third of the pitch with teams that have sat down with the lower block themselves? So we're working on the training ground, working really hard, the staff and the players. The mindset is how can we get better at it, and things we're working on. You know, in the classroom we're seeing it, and so from my point of view, you just mentioned the 2 players there in Josh Hawkes and Sam Finley, talented player, and Sam Taylor, talented attack players, to go with 𝗦𝗧𝗔𝗬𝗢𝗥, to go with Kieran Morris, Harvey Saunders, Connor Jennings, Christian Dennis. Luke Norris got half an hour the other day after coming back from injury as well. So I think we've got all those attacking players who are really good. Regan Henry scored from midfield the other day. Great pass from Kieran Morris to put Josh Hawkes or Sam Taylor in.
Taylor.
It would have been Sam Taylor because I think it was Joe Murphy's delivery through to get... How good was Joe Murphy the other night? You know, I was lucky, he played for me at Scunthorpe United, and I was a goalkeeping coach to start off with, as a physio goalkeeping coach. And then he became a manager, and to see him now, he was just a masterclass in goalkeeping with his communication, the calmness, organisation, his distribution. And obviously he made 1 good save and then a penalty save. But the distribution to go through it was Josh Hawkes to go and score his goal. And a great finish from Josh, composed finish to put the ball in the back of the net. So really pleased.
Just finally then, we host Bradford on Saturday, who are in the top half of the table after a solid start to the season. What sort of challenge do you expect from them?
Good game, solid start. Like, we've had a solid start, you know. So 𝗦𝗢𝗨𝗥, good experienced manager. He was really pleased, I know, after the game against Newport at the weekend, when I listened to his comments about, obviously they've had a couple of players out injured, the formation that they played, they've been working on through pre-season. He was really pleased with their first half performance in particular. So we're under no illusions it's going to be tough. They get the ball forward, they get the ball they cross the ball as good as anybody, and obviously next Tranmere Rovers player in Andy Cook's a massive threat, and he looks fit. So we know we've done some work on the training ground in trying to put ourselves in a position to be able to deal with that as best as we can. But even if you prepare it, you still got to be ready. It's going to be tough. So we're looking forward to the challenge. But likewise, we're at Pretton Park, we're at home, should be a great atmosphere. Supporters are going to be there. I know we've got a team that works hard. I know we've got a team that competes. They're going to be the same. And what we've got to do is try and make sure we turn some of the opportunities that have been created, create more opportunities and put the ball in the back of the net.
Thank you very much.
Cheers.
Brilliant.